Welcome back to the channel, everybody. If you're new here, I am Alex, and this is Fathom Aquatics. I was just in the beautiful city of Dallas, Texas for Aquashella 2024, so I couldn't pass up the opportunity to visit one of the most popular fish stores out there. Of course, this is Fish Gallery. So right away, as soon as you make your first left turn into the store, you're greeted by these long rows of acrylic tanks. We've got koi, we've got goldfish, and look, we even have a fly river turtle right here swimming with the koi. It's so awesome to see such huge crystal clear tanks, and you know these things are well maintained. And I always like to try to take a look at the filtration here. So it looks like we've got some outflows. Right here, it's being plumbed in from the ceiling. And right here, stacked between these long koi tanks, we have some really cool looking goldfish. These are ranchus, and just look at these colors. They're so vibrant, and even with the sunlight right behind them, they pop really bright golden orange. And then here we have another fly river turtle with a lot of different koi. This whole setup was just so cool. And this setup is just the most insane thing ever. This is something that you'd see right out of a public aquarium. The way that they have that dome in the middle with the step stool, so little kids can get up in there and get an inside view of these absolutely just amazing looking fish. So let's go ahead and make a right real quick because there's some customers over to the left. And here's just some more dry goods. These are more of like your standard decorations that you'd see at other stores. We've got some gravel on the bottom. We've got some driftwood up top. And there's a whole driftwood section over on the other side. But let's go ahead and start making our way over. I'm just trying to avoid these customers, guys. Sorry. So here is another tank. This aquascape is amazing. We're going to come back to this. But just look at this little teaser of the big tank back there. But this is like a conference room kind of thing. There, you can actually rent this room out for birthday parties. And who wouldn't want to have a birthday party in front of this tank? Just look at this. Those clownfish are huge. Those archers are amazing. Just everything in here is just so beautiful. Look at this humphead glassfish. This thing is just so cool. We don't really have these a whole bunch around where I'm at. And here there's a beautiful denison barb. Just these colors are just immaculate. There's also some gouramis in here and some clown loaches, and there's some rainbows. This tank is just absolutely pretty. Oh man, this is just beautiful. These archer fish are just so crazy. And then it looks like all these plants are real. Here's another gourami, and they're just like blending in with the driftwood. This is just so cool. I would love to have my birthday here. And they've got some cool lights in here. And then here's just kind of like a display tank where you can kind of get an idea. It's like a showroom kind of area. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to get away from these customers. I don't want to have too many just random people on the camera. Some people aren't into that. But here is the star of the show. This is just the giant tank that they have here on display. And you can see just all kinds of crazy fish in here. And it's so cool just to see like a community of not just your typical community fish that are small, 1 to 2 inches. We've got bala sharks in here. You know, wow, these things are just so cool. There's a frontosa right there. I saw a rainbow shark in the back. There's African cichlids right there, some OB peacocks. And then everything is just mixed, South American, African cichlids. It doesn't matter. There's Texas cichlids in here. Look at these giant gourami, some tinfoils. Wow, this is just such a sight to take in. I could just come here and just eat lunch in front of this tank, and I'll hang out in front of this tank all day if I can. This is just so beautiful. There's a flagtail procholotus swimming around in there. It looks like there's 2 of them. And then over here we've got some more of like the showroom style display tanks. Just kind of showing you what kind of setups that you can have in your own home, the kind of things that they can deliver and set up for you. And then look in here, this is just so pretty. I love how this driftwood is. I might have to copy this scape. It's like there's just a thin long driftwood going in the diagonal bottom left to top right. It's always such a good look. And then this is so cool. This is usually something you see more in the European market, but this fluval setup, you don't really see these too much in North America. But if you ever watch some of the British people over the pond, they have a lot of those. And this is cool. I like the bagging setup here. Did you see they've got little neon tetras on the side? And there's all kinds of multiple bagging stations here. I'm just trying to make my way through here, getting away from the customers. So we're just going to go ahead and start with the saltwater side. So here is a whole bunch of artificial plants. So I try to get a lot more of the natural stuff, but sometimes African cichlids or something, they tear stuff apart. But we've got some really nice hardscape over here, some rocks, some wood. And let's check this out. So we've got some designer clowns. We've got some more traditional clownfish over here. Man, this saltwater tank is so cool. Just such like an integrated reef. And I love that they leave the filtration open so you can get a really good look at the kind of stuff that's required for just these like bigger tanks like that. Just trying to give you a little overview of the kind of fish that they have here. And again, even the saltwater tanks, these are just crystal clear. You've got your typical algae and stuff on some of the decorations and sand, but it's the water's crystal clear. And so there's some pajama cardinals there. Let's see here. Some more clowns. These are so cool. Really good flow in there. If you notice at the top right, I don't know, I kind of notice these things. So this is cool. We've got some mollies that you traditionally see in freshwater, but these are fully acclimatized to be in saltwater. This is just so cool. I don't ever see saltwater mollies over in Georgia. I'm sure people have it, just not where I'm at. Looks like there is a trigger, and then now we're moving back over. Here's some African cichlids. Down below, what do we have here? Oh, this is so cool. So these look like rope fish, and everyone that knows me, they know I love bichir, and these are actually also in the Polypterus family, but they're not bichir, but they're very closely related. Sorry, a little bit of a shaky camera work here. Trying my best. So here, some more OB peacocks and some other just assorted African peacock cichlids over here. Just absolutely amazing colors, even in the store. Sometimes these fish will color down, but not here. The water quality is pristine. These guys are nice and healthy. They must have a great diet. And then I love this tank, and I know Eddie from Vibes Aquatics is gonna love this. Look at all these just baby Frontosa. They're so beautiful, and they're starting to get their blues on them, especially in the fins. That's just so pretty to me. Just look at these rows of tanks. And one thing that really just catches my eye is the air systems here. So all these tanks are being run off these air systems, and when you have like a long view down the rows, you can see all the bubbles kind of going in sync almost, and it catches your eye like a glistening or something. It's so cool. But all of these cichlids look so good. They look so healthy. I like that they're still incorporating a bunch of like natural rocks and stuff, even though some of these have artificial plants and some other artificial decorations. There's only so much you can do in the store, and I'm sure if they had live plants in every single one of these tanks, it'd get destroyed. So here we have some ghost knives. Down here there's some Heckelei cichlids, some albino Heckeleis. Those are really pretty. Here's some red striped Geophagus. I'd like to try to get some of those one day too. Oh wow, and this tank is just full of fire mouths. Let me try to get focus here. I'd also love to get some of these and having like some kind of like South American cichlid tank, but as you can see here, they've got some good aggression, so I'd have to mix it pretty well. But wow, they've got some great colors on those fins. Those two right there, they're just really going at it. So cool. There's those ghost knives again. Some electric blue Acara, always a fan favorite. These ones aren't super blue just yet. I mean, maybe that one in the back is, but they're really cool to have. I had one once, and it tore up a lot of my substrate and some of my plants, but they're beautiful. They're worth it. It looks like in here we've got some Raphael catfish. Those are always really pretty. They can get a little bit big though, so I wouldn't recommend them for small tanks. And some more geos, and these ones are just so beautiful. Man, I might have to leave here with some geos. They're so pretty. Just would you just look at this beta sorority here? There are so many in here and they're so pretty. And recently at Aquashella, they've been showing some of these display tanks where they're really just tanks to buy from, and it's just stock full of these female betas, and they're just so pretty when they're all together like that. But I wouldn't personally do it. It can be a little crazy sometimes, but just look at these colors. They're so pretty. These ones are like more white bodied with colorful fins, and the other ones were more colorful body. I don't know, they're so pretty. And of course that tank looked like it had a whole bunch of convicts. And these are rosy barbs, and these ones look so much better than the ones I'm used to seeing. I don't know if it's the water here or what they're feeding them, what kind of diet, but let me try to get a good look here. If I can get this camera to focus here. There we go. Wow, just look at them, and they've got that nice dark spot in the back. It's kind of like it mimics their eyes. They're just so pretty. And some more betas up here, and I really love these ones. A lot of them have more like that orange tail. It doesn't matter like what you're into as far as betas, they have everything here. They've got all different colors. There's so many. I'm just gonna start walking through here a little bit. It's getting close to time for them to close, but I just love how clean all these tanks are. All these tanks, you can notice they all have heaters in them. All the water is crystal clear. Some of them have a little bit of algae, and it just looks like the ones that do are just isolated. If you need some zebra danios, look how many they have here. There's just so many to go around. And these look like those whiptail fish. Those are so cool. I need to get one of these one day. I think maybe a tank with some of these on the bottom, they would just blend in with the driftwood or something. That would just be so cool. And let's move over here, getting closer to the planted side. And would you just look at all of these neons and cardinals in here? Let's see. So these are neon tetras. And when they're in these huge groups like this, it's always so cool. I remember Aquashell a couple years ago, they had a tank with like 5,000 neons. It was so cool. But like, look at this. I want to do just like a massive, just all neon tank one of these days. Maybe some red plants. That would look really cool to me. But again, here's another one showcasing how beautiful these fish. They're probably the most common fish sold in the hobby. Every pet store everywhere has them. You go to PetSmart, Petco, they all have these. But just look how beautiful they look when you get them in a big, just one big assortment. And here we're finally getting our way over to some of the live plant section. They've got some that are planted where you could just go ahead and pick what you want. And then up here on the top, they've got the plants in pots. So just a quick grab and go. And you can see they've got outflow coming out of the bottom there. That's kind of cool. And you can see the flow just pushing on those leaves there. And then here is every store's favorite, the frozen goods section. Lots of different variety here, and they've got some stuff over there for the saltwater too. Some different foods that you wouldn't normally find when you're at like a predominantly freshwater store. And wow, just look at this store. This is so cool. Sorry guys, I'm having to cut the filming just a little bit because I'm trying to avoid a lot of the customers here. But here you can see all the different dry goods that they sell here. They've got Aqua Vitro, they've got Seachem, they've got Seache. Here's like a cool little tank setup that they have here. A lot of like the artificial stuff, not my personal favorite, but look at all these fluval lights. They got the 3.0s, they've got the marine lights. So cool. And then here's this tank that I tried to skip past earlier, but there's a customer right in front of. Another thing that caught my eye here, on top of all the substrates, are these little nano tanks and like micro vivariums. These are from BioLark, it looks like, and these are really cool. I don't know if you can have water in here, but they look really cool, and I might have to pick some of them up. Some of them have like that big glass base on the bottom. They've got some lights and vents just built in. They look really cool, and then of course, you know, you've got a fluval spec here. And they've got all kinds of different sizes. And again, here we have all kinds of different substrates. You've got a lot of like soils and sands and different minerals and all kinds of different colors. And these are just so cool. I'd love to just have like an all-in-one system like this that's maybe a little bit bigger than the one I have now. And here we've got the shrimp tanks from Dennerley. You might have seen these around on YouTube. They're pretty cool. Maybe one day I'll pick one of these up. Today's not that day though. But man, I love how all these little setups look. I might end up doing a lot more nano tanks in the future. I love my big tanks, of course, but whenever I want to set up a big tank, it's a big deal, you know. And then you can just set up a little tank, and you can set up more and more. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to manage. And wow, I absolutely love this aquascape. Thanks for taking a tour of Fish Gallery in Dallas, Texas with me. Leave a comment down below with your favorite part, and I'll see you in the next one.